Alright, so I need to get some work done on editing my YouTube videos, making social media posts, things like that. Just the more like admin work kind of stuff. I need to answer some messages. So I came to the Trendy Bunny Cafe, which is in Greensburg in my town, and it's so cute. I've worked in here before. They have flowers hanging from the ceiling. They have just the most beautiful decor in there. I personally love to work in coffee shops, and sometimes a change of scenery just helps me get into a good mindset, helps me be productive and get this kind of work done that also needs to be done just as much as actually making pottery. Sometimes whenever I do my admin work at home, I get really distracted with, chores and cleaning and just doing all of that kind of stuff that's like right there in front of me. Whenever I come to a coffee shop, I'm kind of able to separate that and just take a step back and only focus on the admin work that I need to get done. So I'm super excited to get a coffee and get some work. And got a lot of work done. Honestly, I got a decent amount of work done. I was there for like 3 hours and I decided, since I sat for so long in there, that it would be a good idea for me to get a little exercise. So I came to my absolute favorite park and I just thought that I would get some steps in. I'm hoping to get around to doing some work with clay, but I don't know if I'll get to. We'll see. I'm excited to just walk around the lake. It is a beautiful day. It's gorgeous. I'm excited to get in the sun for a little bit and to just enjoy nature, enjoy God's creation. I got a little movement in, so I'm feeling better. I am gonna take a shower and then I'm gonna head out and just enjoying the evening with my parents since Nate's not here. It'll be really nice to relax a little bit and take a break, so I'm excited to do that. I am doing a quick run to the studio today. My husband just got back from his work trip, so I just picked him up from the Pittsburgh airport. So my pieces that I worked on earlier this week and over last weekend, they're dry. I have this mug that I had made for him, another mug for him, a bunch of these little envelopes, I think maybe like 13. My whole logo doesn't fit on the back, so, okay, it won't focus, but my whole logo won't fit on the back of these, so I've just been doing a little tulip. I made a tiny little whisker vase for my future sister-in-law, Marina. She collects her cat's whiskers, and she needed somewhere to put them, so I just threw this little vase for her. And I just have an accessory. I almost knocked over this whole tray. It's okay. Everything's fine. So let's go run these to the studio. I am gonna put everything on the Bisque shelves. I got some Bisque and some Glaze back. So I just got back the first 2 envelope magnets that I made and glazed as like a test, and I am so happy with how they turned out. Look at how cute they are. I love them. So they just have my typical like eggshell glaze, and then they're just bare stoneware on the back so you can see the glaze ends on the sides. But yeah, I'm gonna be putting a little magnet on the back here, so you can put these on your fridge. They can hold like a little air plant or like a little buttercup or even a little love note. I just think that would be so cute. I just dropped off a bunch more for their first firing, the Bisque firing. Once I get those back, I will glaze them and they'll be ready. But I'm so excited. I love them so much. I also got back a ring dish. I've been having some issues with this eggshell glaze. It's a little hard to tell there, but there's like a little speck. I've been getting a lot back that have like big specks on them, which is really difficult because it seems like a lot more often than not lately I've been getting defects back instead of really good ones like this. I'm gonna try to see if maybe there's a different glaze I can use, if maybe it's just like a glaze issue. But I also got back a bunch of ring dishes that were just bisqued, so they just had their first firing, so I'm ready to glaze these. I got back 6 of these and an accessory dish. A bud vase, another bud vase. I love this. I love like the bellied out shape with the ruffled edge. For the bud vase drop that I just did, the only bud vases that I made with the ruffled edges were for my mom and my mother-in-law because they picked those, but I wish I would have done more. I do ruffled edges on literally everything. I was just trying to play around with some different forms, but I absolutely love this. I think it's so cute. So I'm very excited about this one. Not as excited about this. This is a glaze called Champagne Quartz. It's by Speedball. All right, it's just not gonna focus, but it's like a tan and gray kind of mix. It was a gift, so I wanted to try it out. And maybe it's just the cone that my community studio fires to. Maybe this does better at cone 6 because they fire at cone 5. So maybe the colors are a little bit better at cone 6, but this is not my absolute favorite, but that's okay. We're just testing things out. We're trying some new things. I also got back this rose quartz bud vase. It seemed to have some issues with pinholing, especially at the bottom, which it's still fully functional, but it just doesn't really look as nice. You can see there. I had read a lot that this kind of seems to be a little bit of a finicky glaze, so it doesn't always come out the way that you want it to. And yeah, this one's just kind of meh. It's not great, it's not terrible, but not my favorite. It ran a tiny bit, so like I had really crisp lines. I knew that this was a little bit of a runnier glaze, but I just don't love how the bottom came out around the foot ring. But again, like I said, just testing out some different things and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. Now I know champagne quartz and rose quartz maybe just not my favorite, but I have heard that this is good in combinations, so trying it out with different glazes, so maybe that's the way to go. And last but not least, I had made a little food dish for our cat Wayne, and I let my husband pick out which glaze that he wanted from the glazes that I have, and he picked out this forest green. It's like really deep green that I had used on my Christmas tree wine stoppers this past year. It's really reflective, so you're getting a lot of shine back, but it actually turned out really nice. So Wayne has a little Simeo ceramics piece of his own. I'm just excited to do little projects like this. I think it's really fun. And yeah, that was my haul. We're gonna head back home and start glazing. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.